importantly, AFCON will be in Ivory Coast next year. So this was the perfect preparation for me for AFCON. They know what to expect now in the Ivory Coast, and I think they've got confidence that they can go up against the big stars, because Ivory Coast had some big stars in this game. Sebastian Haller plays for Borussia Dortmund. He scored the equalizer. I mean, Kuriso Mudau put Wilfried Zaha in his pocket the whole game until he was subbed. They've got Frank Kessier and all these big stars here, and I think Bafana can take a lot of confidence, guys, from this performance, because we like to slander Bafana and make them jokes and all of that, and maybe sometimes deservedly so, because they've been failing in recent years to qualify for major tournaments. But I think when a team has qualified for a major tournament like they have for AFCON, I think they deserve some respect. And when they can beat Morocco, who are World Cup semi-finalists, and also hold the Ivory Coast in Abidjan, I think they deserve a little bit of our respect. Talking about football though, there is a game tonight, Sundowns up against TS Galaxy in the Carling Cup. That's the new competition. So Sundowns play today because remember on Saturday they are in Angola to play Petro de Luanda in the newly launched African Football League that we've been discussing over the couple of weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see which kind of a team Sundowns puts out on the show. I mean on the field tonight, because obviously 7 of their players are with Bafana. Bafana is only returning at midnight, and I would think maybe the Sundowns players that are there will go straight to Angola instead of coming home, but they definitely won't make the game tonight. So we are waiting to see that starting 11 from Sundowns there. But anyway, we're going to talk boxing, and yeah, there is a topic that we couldn't get to last week of what happened in the WBF fight, bantamweight fight between Joshua Stoddard and Akani Sambu. We had actually promoted that tournament here on the show. We had the boxer, we had his mother, who's the promoter also. They were looking ahead to the tournament, supported by Shaka Warrior, and Joshua Stoddard was going to fight for the vacant WBF Intercontinental title against Akani Sambu, and he won the fight on the Sunday in Pretoria. The media reports came out. The reports came out that he was the champion. He was given the belt. He was declared the winner. But to everybody's surprise, the next day, we found out that the result has been overturned, and that apparently there was an error with the judges' scorecards, and they judged the fight according to the colors of the corner, because you've got blue and red in boxing. So they made a mistake, and they thought the fight that the boxer that was supposed to be in the blue corner was in the red corner, and all sorts of things. And anyway, that's how the error happened. And then the next day the result was rectified. I mean, rectified the next day, guys. If you make that error, surely you pick it up on the day, you know. And surely you should know who the boxers are, whether there's been an error in the corners that they were given, but you should see the difference between the boxers. So we're going to try and get a better understanding of how this blunder, because I think it's a huge blunder, how this could have happened. And we're going to speak to the president of the WBF, Mr. Howard Goldberg, and to also find out obviously what is the way forward now that they're saying that they've rectified the result. And also later on the show, we're going to go over to Mexico. We've got one of our boxers, Old Bones Makwata. He is in Mexico. He's fighting this weekend he's fighting on Friday actually in Mexico. It's a WBC international fight. He's fighting a Mexican, highly rated Mexican, so we're going to find out how he's keeping in Mexico. And Old Bones, if you know him, if you know his story, has made a remarkable recovery. In 2018, they broke into his house in Cape Town, and they were stealing his appliances and his plasma TV, and obviously I think he put up a fight, and they shot him in the leg. And he broke his leg, and his leg was broken in half. And he had to go to hospital, and miraculously he has recovered and he's fighting again, and now he finds himself all the way in Mexico ahead of a big fight. So we're going to find out how he's done it, and we're going to look ahead to the fight. If you want to weigh in on any of our discussions tonight, please send us your voice notes on WhatsApp 060-584-2250, or you can call us on 086-000-2479. So let's speak firstly to the president of the WBF about this incident that happened in the fight between Joshua Stoddard and Akani Sambu, and Mr. Howard Goldberg joins us on the line. Good evening, Howard. Thanks for speaking to us on Radio 2000.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, but it's not a good topic to be talking about. How embarrassing is this, Howard, for the WBF?
I don't think it's a very embarrassing for the WBF. These things happen. It's in my 15 years as president, it's never happened. now, we had two new officials. One of the rules of the WBS and other sanctioning bodies, judges may not alter scorecards. So you're given 12 scorecards. We had Joshua Studart on the left. We had Kanu Sambo on the right. Tony Nayagiwe did it absolutely perfectly. What happened is they got into the ring, they changed corners, and I had one judge, two new judges, inexperienced at sanctioning body level, and they weren't sure what to do. So the first one arrowed Studart from the left to the right-hand side for round one, and Sambo to the left. I've sent you the copy of those scorecards. And they did that in round two, and then for the rest of the 10 rounds, there were no arrows. So what does that actually mean? Does it mean I must arrow it? Does it mean I must leave it, etc.? So I took the scores as they were, as per my scorecard. Both judges did not score incorrectly. Their scores were actually correct for the correct winner, except they did it on the wrong way around. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Please explain to us how then they would have mistaken the boxers. Because I was watching the fight online and you can hear the ring announcer, Mr. Sipho Mashego. He says which boxer is in the red corner. He says which boxer is in the blue corner. How were the judges confused?
So it's very simple. The answer is very simple. When we do the scorecards, we do it before we know what corners they're in. We always instruct our officials, and had they been at our convention in Cape Town, they would have known you score according to the name. You don't score according to the color of the corner that they're in. So on the left-hand side of the score sheet was Studart. On the right-hand side was Sambu. If Studart won a round, you give him 10 and you give Sambu 9, unless there's a knockdown. If Sambu wins a round, on the right-hand side you give him 10, on the left-hand side Studart gets 9. What they did is they arrowed and changed the scores that the left-hand side was suddenly Sambu and the right-hand side was suddenly Studart. So when I got the scores, I put the scores down as per my master score sheet, and we had Studart a split decision winner. The minute that was announced, the two judges came running to me and said, hang on a second, that's not correct. I said, this is what you've given me. Anyway, the long story is that they had crossed, one of the judges had crossed out names and switched over, which you can't do. You cannot amend the score sheet. So perhaps I need to take some ownership and say to them, if there's a change, come talk to me. What they should have done, the referee said to them, be aware they've changed the corners that move from the one to the other. What they should have done, the judges, is come to me and say, the one guy's changed corner, what do we do? And I would have simply said to them, you score according to the name, not according to the corner that they're in.
And so you're saying they scored according to the corner that they are in, instead of scoring according to the name. But your rules say you must score according to the name.
You must score according to the name.
Then why would they score according to the color of the corner then? Why are they not scoring according to the name?
So what happened obviously is that they saw a Kanu or Studart in different corners, not the same as the score sheet they were given. They should have ignored that and scored according to the name, but they didn't. They said, okay, you need to now, if Sambu is on this side, I need to arrow him to the right color, and I need to arrow Studart to the other side. And that was the error. The bottom line is quite simple. It wasn't a good thing to happen, but all three judges have subsequently given us feedback, given it in writing, that they had Sambu the winner. So Sambu technically was the winner. I feel sorry for Joshua. You're given the fight, you're given the title, you're given the belt, you're very excited, the adrenaline is pumping, and only for half an hour later to be told, actually you didn't win the fight.
Okay, and then, taking what you've said into account, Howard, though, are you saying the judges could not differentiate between who is Joshua Studart and who is Sambu?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Could they not have done that then and used that logic and say, this guy is light skinned, this guy is dark skinned, the other guy is colored, the other guy is black?
You're 100% correct. That's what they should have done. They should have said, I'm not worried about the colors. I've got Joshua Studart on the left-hand side of each of my scorecards. I've got Kanu Sambu on the right-hand side of my scorecard. I know who is who, and that's what happened. We had a fight in Cape Town last week. We had one in Chillon against Dennis Mawali. We had Wasim Challenge on the left. We had Dennis Mawali on the right. Didn't matter what corners they went to. The judges knew who's who and scored according to the score sheets they had.
So did these judges not know who's who? Howard?
No, but they knew who was who, but it didn't correlate to the corners that they were assigned to in the final analysis. So they weren't sure whether to now say, well, do I leave my score cards or do I cross it and move the one to the other side? They should have come to me and said to me, listen, we're not sure what do we do, and I would have told them.
And you're saying it's yes, go ahead, sorry.
Right. I'm not saying that they scored the fight incorrectly. They scored the fight correctly, except they didn't score it in the right blocks for the right person. They moved everything across to be in line with the corners that they were in.
And you still say that's not embarrassing?
It's embarrassing, but we can go a little bit deeper. These were not the two judges that I assigned initially. I assigned two other of my experienced officials who I was told they weren't allowed to officiate because they weren't re-licensed or re-registered or something like that. These two judges were recommended to me. Again, I'm not saying that they scored badly. I think they scored reasonably well, except that their modus operandi was incorrect.
Yes, and I think that's the big problem here. So, and you're saying they didn't attend the WPF convention, and you're saying that they were inexperienced. So, if they didn't attend your convention which explains the rules and they're inexperienced, why would you put them in charge of such a massive title fight?
Well, again, they weren't originally selected to be assigned for the fight. I was told by PSA that I cannot use Simon Mokadi, one of my very experienced officials. I cannot use, I think that was Yapa Nivenhazen because they weren't re-registered. So I said to them, okay, who can I use? And they said, well, these are the two we recommend. I don't think they did a bad job. I just think that inexperience when it comes to the cards, and perhaps, as I say, perhaps we should have sat down with them and said, guys.
Well, if they did a good job, we wouldn't be here talking about it. We'd be talking to the champions that were declared the winners, Howard, regardless of how they scored the fight. But clearly the wrong winner, like you're saying, was announced. The guy was given the title. And like you're saying, I mean, you got to feel for the guy who was declared the champion and given the belt and then later on told that he's not the champion. We'll continue after this break, Howard. I just need to take a quick break. I don't want to cut you before you give your next point.
The award-winning social experiment Wife Swap is coming to South Africa, and we are casting. Do you rule the roost or cater to the every whim of your family? You'll swap lives and walk in their shoes, but then you'll get to make the rules. It'll change your life forever. We're calling SA's moms from Gauteng, KZN and the Western Cape to take part in this groundbreaking series. To enter, go to wifeswap.co.za. Brought to you by SABC Education and S3.
10 of the world's greatest cricket nations are back on the pitch to argue about the next champions.
5-time global champs Australia are searching for their 6th title.
But 2-time winners India believe their home fans deserve the 3rd title.
While the defending champions England are more interested in back-to-back
And
victories.
Frontiers are eager to reach the final.
Is it time for the new champs?
Witness the incredible game from 5 October to 19 November on S3 and SABC+.
Subscription fees do not apply. SABC Sport is the official broadcaster of the ICC Men's ODI Cricket World Cup India 2023.
Hashtag the journey of the ultimate glory. For the love of the game.
We know from COVID that healthy bodies cope with illness better. Getting screened and tested for TB is free. If you have a cough that won't go away, chills or night sweats, then get a free screening with TB Check. For more info, call the National Health Hotline on 0800 029 999. That's 0800 029 999.
Game on Monday to Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. with Tabi Yusuf on Radio 2000.
Plenty of boxing Monday results. I think it's becoming common. Plenty of wrong results, and I think there should be a review. Plenty of rules and a process where judges confirm their results in the process of the ring announcer pronounces the results, so that there is a balance. I think, but they need to revisit their rules generally. Landile Vika, Katutu Zuma, and Tanzania. Goes
Thank you. You won the fight. That's good. I think that guy should just get his title. Thank you. You won the fight. Anonymous. You don't want that.
100%. I take great pride in the integrity of the WBF and my integrity. I've been boxing 45 years. And it took me about 15 minutes to recalculate. I then immediately phoned Warren Huggy. I was actually in the car outside. I phoned Warren Huggy. This is probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes after the announcement. Warren is a trainer of Studart, and I said to Warren, listen, this is the situation. Warren was very accepting of the fact. And I said to him, can you please speak to Joshua once the excitement dies down? I know that he's very excited and photographs. Please talk to him and make sure that he knows, and I will chat to you later. About half an hour later, I got a phone call from Joshua. We obviously hadn't spoken to him. Warren hadn't spoken to him by then, and he asked me about the case. Where's the case for the Delta?
Is that on the same day, sorry?
Same day.
Yeah.
Maybe 45 minutes in total after the announcement was made. I was back in my hotel and I was sitting talking to my disciplinary committee at the WBF and talking to my executive committee, explaining what had happened. Everybody was happy with the way we had done it. The truth is that justice prevailed and the right guy won. And I said to Joshua, listen, you didn't win the fight. The 3 judges have come to me, they've all said the scores were wrong. I apologize for the mess. However, you didn't win the fight. I'm happy to organize a rematch. There is a little bit of controversy. I'm happy to do a rematch. And that was the last that I spoke to Joshua.
But now, if the judges had told you on the day, at the time the results was announced that this is incorrect, why was it not rectified then?
Immediately.
Yes, why was it not announced to the boxers and everybody that was there?
It's a very simple answer. I now am sitting with 56 scorecards and I have to go through each and every one of them to see what actually is going on. Tony Nayondiwe's scorecard was absolutely perfect. He scored according to the names. His 12 scorecards, absolutely fine. The other 24 scorecards of the 2 other judges, I had to go through with a fine-tooth comb, and I didn't want to make an announcement, which was wrong. I know that BSA had an incident in East London that took a couple of days. We took 15 minutes and I did it very meticulously. I wanted to know that justice would prevail and that the right winner would win it. If it was Studart or if it was Samu, I wanted to get it right.
And you still feel that you couldn't have done this while everybody was still there, or even let them know that there's something wrong here? Or there's a possibility of something being wrong?
Could we have done it slightly quicker? Maybe. Should we have done it and called everyone back to the ring? Maybe. Hindsight is a wonderful science. All we wanted to do was to get it right. There was a lot of adrenaline going. He had the belt, he had the photographs. We then started to recalculate. And I said to them, we'll get it sorted out within the next half an hour, 15 minutes, hour or whatever, but it'll be done today. And it was. So, could it have been done better? Possibly. Will we learn something from it? Absolutely. What we've learned is that we need to sit down with judges, if they're new judges, and say to them, guys, this is how it's done. Please make sure you follow protocol. You may not, in any sanctioning body, you may not alter a scorecard on your own. If you've got Goldberg on the left and Titan on the right, you can't change it. You can't arrow one name to the other side and the other name to the other side. We're not allowed to do that. So, and that's what I will say straight after we made the announcement. I had 24 scorecards, which I had to recalculate.
And then also, ultimately, you were the only one that did the recalculation.
I did the recalculation. I sent photographs of all 56 scorecards to my executive committee, probably within an hour or 2 hours after the event. We had a quick discussion telephonically with my executive director. We spoke about it. We made the right decision. It wasn't a popular decision. It would have suited us, I guess. Studart's mother was the promoter, Studart's backer was there, etc. It might have been better for the WBF that Studart won. But we're not here to please promoters, we're here for the truth. And we're here for justice, and the real person eventually won. Had the officials come to the WBF convention, they would have known. I had assumed incorrectly, I'll take ownership of it. I had assumed they would know that score according to the names and not according to the colours. And I wasn't right in this case.
You can't assume when you've got a title fight here. You can't take chances with these things because there's a lot at stake. These guys go through a lot. They go to camp for 6 to 8 weeks. They spend all their time and money trying to fight, and you want to assume that the judges know the rules and all of that.
They've been trained by Boxing South Africa. They've been trained. I mean, hello, I think I've supervised probably 250 title fights. First time it's ever happened. Never happened before. The judges.
But you said earlier on these things happen.
Say again?
I'm saying you said when we started the interview that these things happen, and that's why you were not embarrassed.
Well, it happened with Rourke and Cristiano and Messi. It happened, things happen in boxing. Sometimes these things happen. It's never happened with us.
Okay. No. And then moving forward, then have you apologized to the boxers though, to Joshua Stardet, because I saw a big headline now that you're suing him because he didn't want to return the belt.
Well, the belt is not his, but I believe he has returned it. And I have spoken to his sponsor, and I have said to them, we do feel for Joshua. I sympathize with him, and I'm very empathetic because I know that it's tough to be told you're a winner and suddenly that you're not the winner. We offered him a rematch against Sandy. We offered him to fight for the international title. I'm not thrilled by certain things that he's done, but I take it, we've got big shoulders, and we understand the emotion and the disappointment that he has.
But I'm saying, I was asking, did you apologize to him? Or do you think you owe him an apology? I mean, I can't force you to apologize. Don't you think you owe him an apology?
Do we owe him an apology? Maybe we do. Maybe we can say we're sorry that in the discussion that I had, let me put it to you this way. In the telephonic discussion that I had with him, I said to him, I'm sorry, but you didn't win the fight. So was there an apology? I guess there was an apology.
But it doesn't sound genuine. No, it doesn't sound genuine. I mean, you keep saying me.
No.
And you don't have to. You don't have to.
No, just it was genuine. It wasn't, I shoot from the hip, but I'm a genuine person. I apologized to him. I said to him, I'm sorry, but you're not the champion. These things happen. I understand these disappointments. We're not dismissing it. We're not underplaying it. We want to give him another chance. He's a good fighter. Whether he wants a rematch or not, whether he wants to work with the WPF or not, that's up to him. We're giving him a lifeline. Whether he accepts it or not is completely up to him.
And have you reached out to Akani, the other boxer? Because I would also think, he doesn't want to win a title this way. He would have loved to have won it inside the ring also.
Absolutely. I've spoken to his camp. The camp phoned me. They thanked me. I believe that he's fighting in December. That's the thing, he's title in December. He was a deserving winner. The fact that it wasn't done in the nicest way, that's part of boxing. I've learned from that. I've judged and refereed and supervised close to 500 title fights. Never happened. But it happened, so I have to take ownership and say, you know what? Next time I have new judges, I need to sit down with them for at least half an hour before the fight and go through every single thing with them. I just wish that they'd come to the convention. It is open to anybody.
I remember when we spoke to you about the convention, you were also disappointed that even Boxing South Africa hadn't come to the convention, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was, I think, a big error on their part. They would have learned a lot. We had people from 15 countries, some of the top officials in the world. It was a tough session with the referees and judges. We made them work and we made them learn. And the feedback was, if you speak to people who are there, like Silva Baza, a very experienced official, they learned a lot.
Yes, no, we did at that time. We spoke to Charity Mukondaleli. I think he was there and he was honored or something, and they said a lot came out of it. But before we wrap up, Howard, we've just got a caller from Cape Town. Shatta, good evening. Hello?